You don't need a near-death experience in your life to show for evidence that God is real. Think back to that voice in your head or that feeling in your stomach, man. You gotta think back to your conscience. You never needed nobody to teach you right from wrong. Where do you think that came from? Nobody had to teach you that stealing was wrong. Nobody had to teach you that cheating on your spouse was wrong. And Paul explains this in Romans chapter 2. Verse 14, Paul says, even those who don't have God's law show that they already know it when they instinctively obey it without even have heard it. That guilt feeling when you're doing something outside of God's will, that's not just guilt, that's conviction. And that conviction comes from God. Here's the part that you miss, is that conviction is not a bad thing. That conviction is a good thing because it shows that God still has his hand on you. You go back to Romans chapter 1 and Paul talks about the complete opposite, when God just gave people a life of no conviction, a life of no correction. You think that sounds fun, but no, that's not fun. That's not freedom. That's abandonment. God abandoned those people to do whatever they wanted to do because you can't have both your pleasure and him. It's one or the other. So when you step outside of God's will, when you out there sinning, when you out there just living your life, you still feel that checkup in your mind, that checkup in your heart. That's love because it shows that God is still disciplining you. You're still his child. In Hebrews chapter 12, it tells us clearly that God disciplines the ones that he loves. If you still feeling that guilty feeling in your conscience, that conviction, man, it just shows that God still loves you, that he hasn't let you go. That's your proof that you're not too far gone. That's your proof that he's been there all along. God's presence is always traceable. He's still calling you. So my question to you is, will you answer or will you keep rejecting? If it was easy, everybody would do it. Be that 1%. Let's get to it.